Spirit and Soul, where Atlanta's service industry unpacks raw and provocative truths, share hilarious commentary about their unique industry experiences.
That's the true story.
Welcome back. So I think a big taboo topic is drinking and driving. Like, I've been obsessed because I really want to have this conversation, and I know it's a delicate conversation. I don't want to be too insensitive, but I do want people to take something away from it. And I want it, like I said earlier, I want it to be open dialogue. I think if we have more of these conversations, you know, it'll be on our minds. We'll take some learning points from each other and be like, okay, bet, let me stop. Let me take this in consideration next time anything, all of it, not off the table. I just want to talk more about the cringy things. That's kind of what this podcast is for. So I've been dying to talk about this. And that's why I brought Daquita on, because I was like, okay, if I'm about to be talking about this shit, I need somebody who kind of knows a little bit more than me about, you know, granted, she's not a DUI lawyer. Disclaimer, she's not a DUI lawyer, but just in general, like, I just need somebody to kind of validate this topic a little bit more. So I'm happy I have you. So the Georgia legal driving alcohol limit is based on the blood alcohol content limit in Georgia, which that's the BAC, which you may or may not know that you've seen BAC, blood alcohol content level. And so in Georgia, that is 0.08% for adult drivers over 21 years of age. So this doesn't mean you can't have a drink and drive. It means you can't have several drinks in a short amount of time and drive home, because at that point you're impaired. So I would love to get more in depth about this. I think you're probably thinking, how many drinks does it take in Georgia to reach the legal limit in Georgia? And so honestly, there's not it varies. It varies. It's not one answer, and because it depends on a lot of different factors. So I think first off, let's declare what a drink means. Like, a drink unit is either 12 fluid ounces of beer, 5 fluid ounces of wine, or 1.5 ounce of liquor. Like, that is a drink unit. So when you're like, I've had drinks, how many drinks have you had? That's like the measurements that we're working from of a beer, a wine, and a liquor. So just FYI. But the other factors that, you know, your BAC depends upon is the weight, your body fat percentage, the length of time between the drinks you've had, the amount of food you've consumed, the body's functional tolerance to alcohol, water consumption, any medications that you might be taking. And just to give you an example, a man and a woman, likely if a man and a woman had the same amount of alcohol in the same amount of time, the woman's going to be more drunk, typically because she has more body fat than a guy.
Nice.
More.
Well, usually, because women carry it heavier.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like a lean guy and a lean woman, the woman's gonna, because we naturally just have more body fat.
The body fat is what absorbs it?
Yeah.
Oh.
It clings to the body fat more.
The alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I mean, like I said, just depends on the person. So there's just so many things that go into that.
Tolerance, everything. Time.
Yeah, exactly. Have you eaten?
Right.
You know, are you sleepy? Are you depressed?
Right.
You know, like, are you going through something? Like, all that actually affects. And it seems like, no, it's not. Yes, it is. I was taking...
Right. Most people are depressed. Go ahead. Yeah.
Listen.
I'm just thinking about, like, the people that I've gone after. They were, like, underlying, had, like, something going on.
Yes. Like, that's part of... Oh, that's a part of the book that I'm writing that has like a lot
reasons to drink, reasons to go out. Like,
that's
different types of drinkers.
And that's why I think it's so important to have, like, you know, hospitality professionals that take their job seriously and actually tend to the guests, you know, because it's more than just serving a drink, which is what Spirit and Soul does. And people like Karen, you know, it's like, it's more than just about, you know, getting you a drink and getting you a food. Like, I'm gonna be nice to you, because if you just drunk, something's going on, baby.
Right. Or let me get your story out of
like,
you.
Are you okay?
Let me be like a little quick therapy.
Yes.
Which
And it's like,
slow
and
you down,
my license,
you know?
no, but I will listen. I will just listen and say, I'm gonna pray for you, or like, you know, just something, like, be nice. So yeah, all that's going on. So ideally, you know, it should work like this. You guys kind of mentioned this before. You have a drink. In an hour span, it's like 1 drink per hour, and in between those hours, have water. So with every drink, have a water. Is that really happening? No, because sometimes I know back in the day, I was really like, I'm not gonna have enough water that's gonna sober me up.
You're right.
I want to be drunk. Absolutely not.
Right.
Like, you know, so do we honor that all the time? No, but that's kind of what you should do. So yeah, we don't really always follow those rules with that, but I'm interested to know from Daquita how many DUI related cases that she might deal with over the course of a year, like, or what does that look like for you?
It really depends. I typically realize that more DUI cases come during the holidays and then during the summertime, like when people are out. That's typically where I get the people that have been like involved in a DUI or like they were hit by somebody drunk. And those are my favorite cases to deal with because literally you don't have to be hurt. Sometimes you don't even have to be in your car to be able to recover against the insurance company. So I don't know if y'all follow like ATL Scoop or Atlanta News Uncensored, where they may like post and you may see like a whole block of cars and each car is like rammed into and like, what happened? Well, if the police eventually caught that person and were able to like tie it to it and like, oh my goodness, they were drunk, then you can go after their insurance company and sue them pretty much based off of like what could have happened had you been in that car. Type of thing. So that's just something like so that's why I'm saying they're like my favorite cases. They're the easiest. If you're ever involved with a DUI driver, at least just go to the emergency room just to make sure you're okay, even if you think you're okay, because sometimes like other cases you need like full treatment plans. With DUI, I just need you to like go to the doctor. I just need you to go to the doctor because Georgia's very strict on like DUIs, like MAD, and like there's something called
Mothers Against Destructive Decisions.
Yeah,
I used to be the president of my group.
No,
such a disgrace. I used to be the president of my high school's. It was Raiders Against Destructive Decisions. I was the president. Isn't that a shame?
No, it's
No.
not.
That's a shame.
That's a shame.
But yeah, Georgia doesn't play. They don't play about drunk drivers. So there's something called punitive damages, and pretty much what happens is the insurance company would rather settle your case for the policy limits versus risking going in front of a jury who's probably knows somebody or heard of some crazy story where someone got killed by a drunk driver, and they're really like there to punish you, and like there's no limit on what they can give you. They can make it $25 million. So instead of $25 million, we'll pay you this $25,000 policy limit. Even if your car's just damaged, even if you're not really hurt, they will pay you whatever the policy limits are. So I always tell people, if nothing else, just go to the emergency room.
So typically, Daquita deals with, her clients are more people that were injured or harmed by someone that was, you know, a drunk driver. So any commonalities that you find or that you have with these cases?
That's what I said. So when you said depressed, most of them, so whenever I like, if it gets to the point where I have to depose the driver, I look into the driver's background. They either were recently divorced, separated, something going on in their life, they lost their job, but it's literally, and people are chatty Cathys to like the police, so they wear body cams. So I always request the body cams with the drunk driver, and they'll tell the police everything that's going on. And so also, this is not legal advice, but if you are drinking and driving and you get pulled over, just be cognizant that they are wearing a body camera. And of course, you're not going to say like, hey, here's my body camera, I'm recording. But just be cognizant because I'm on the other side. I'm going to request that footage just to see everything that you said. And you probably said everything that I need to like shut down your insurance company's defense. Like, he just had one drink. No, he told the officer he was drinking all day. He's had 3 beers, 2 shots, and a 4 Loko. Like, he's just living.
People still drink 4 Lokos?
No, I'm just saying. I just threw it out there. You know, I just watched a documentary recently on those.
Those were
but I'm just saying
they liver back in the day.
What is it? The Lime Rita. They have the Lime Rita. So it's like, they'll tell everything they've drunk. Just thinking like, oh, okay.
Right. And so I had to learn that the hard way. I literally didn't know.
Yeah.
Like when I got pulled over one time and I literally told the cop like I had 1 shot, 1 drink. I was like, yeah, I'm just telling the cop I'm good. I had 1 shot, 1 drink. That was the end of it. Like because you admitted to drinking and driving. Like you're driving and you just admitted to drinking. It's like, damn, man. So you can't give them.
They're not your friend. And they're gonna come.
They're
You're
not your
drunk.
friends,
So when you're
exactly.
drunk, you're like overly friendly. Like, I've seen people, like, I've watched the body.
That's
I'm like, oh my
cringy.
God, they're so nice. Like,
Yeah.
wow, like, you really thought he homeboyed you?
I mean, I thought he was gonna let me go. He's like,
Yeah.
okay, cool,
Oh,
yeah,
so
you're
the
good.
the
Like,
They
friendly
come.
cops
Right.
that are acting super chill, they're like actually be a little skeptical because you're gonna feel like you can just be honest and real
Right.
with them.
But you're
and
drunk, so
they're-
you're not even going to be cognizant of it. Like, they're just going to come off as a friend. And when I don't know if it's their training, but I feel like when they recognize a drunk driver, they just come on and make it like, hey, man, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yep.
Not telling you, like, hey, we just got a call and you almost hit 6 people head on, but they're coming at you so friendly and,
Uh-huh.
like, yeah,
Yep.
like playing the
Man,
friend role.
I'll never forget. I had the cop that was literally shooting the shit with me, talking about my car, asking me, "Yeah, what kind of exhaust is that?" Yeah, I thought I was getting away. I promise you, I'm sitting on the
Baiting
curb, handcuffed. I'm like, "Yeah, I got a supercharger." And the whole time he's like, "All right, it's time to go." I'm
Yeah.
like, "What you mean? I thought we was getting along.
I thought we were friends.
know.
The whole time he was
Yeah.
writing me up. The whole okay.
Yeah, so don't tell. Also, if you know you're drunk and you get pulled over, make them do their job. Like,
Yeah.
make them do their job. Don't take the field sobriety test. Even,
That was a
like,
question I had.
It was? Yeah, don't take it because even I've tried to do it sober and it's I think it's meant for you to fail. Like, no one can really pass those tests.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost meant for you to fail.
I've taken it once.
But the thing is that I think the law is that if you deny it, you automatically lose your license.
I don't know about that part.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Well, I know that
like-
if you deny it, they're going to go do, like, draw blood at the hospital. They're going to take you to draw blood.
get that real BAC.
But look, so that's better. This is just again, not legal advice, but that's better. Like, your DUI lawyer would rather you do that versus you're on a camera, like, just weaving and this. Because I can explain your blood alcohol content of, like, how she was saying someone more fat. I could be like, he's very lean, he's in bodybuilding, he has 8% body fat. Like, if I was on the defense, not on the defense side, but I would be able to tell why my client BAC was higher. He has no fat, he's into bodybuilding, he has a competition next week, blah blah blah. He's you know, I can explain why it's higher versus someone else, even if you just had one shot. So
Right.
I'd rather you go that route versus you're, like, on camera looking like a fool.
And then luckily, you know, by the time that you do get to the hospital or
Yeah,
to
you've
wherever,
had time. Yeah, because they're not rushing you. Literally, it's a whole process. They got to take you here. They got to do your paperwork. They got to do this. Then the nurses. By that time, like,
Yeah.
you getting it together.
Yeah.
Like, you know. I mean, if anything, you know, I probably
Right.
like, you know, I've never been in that situation. I'm probably gonna try to, like, pee on myself. Like, let's get some of this out. You know, like, we're gonna do anything possible because you know, like, I need, like, you
Right,
know, to
right.
make it
So
up.
right.
Yeah. Or ask, like, hey, can I go to the restroom?
Right.
Like, I really, really, really have. And then they say no, then, you know, you got the other extremes. I mean, you know, I've seen some of everything, not condoning it, but I'm
Right.
just saying, like, you know, if you
so
were gonna do anything,
Right.
those are the type of things that, yeah, but definitely don't take them.
But that was the best advice, though. Seriously, is like make them work for it.
Make them
Yeah.
work for it.
Don't tell them nothing.
Because even if I've seen people that,
Because some people aren't even at that BAC level.
They're not.
They've just had a drink. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
they're sobered up. They might have been out. They're done. They've sobered up. They went to Chinese food. They had food.
Right.
They had
Right.
water.
Right.
They're done.
they're done.
They've been done for 3 hours.
Right.
And they go home
Right.
and they,
Get pulled over.
for whatever, roadblocks. They used to do roadblocks back in the
Yes.
day. They used to have me so freaking, they don't do those
Knock on
no more. They used
wood,
to
we don't have
always
roadblocks
do.
no more.
They used to, I would be like,
I
damn.
ain't seen a roadblock in a long time.
They used to do roadblocks back
did
in
you
the
do?
day. Oh.
Be scared? Have you scared?
I would be pissing. I would be like, how do I get out of here?
I'm always scared around police, even if I know I don't have
That's
any.
true.
Right.
I
so
am.
it's like, yeah, so even if you, like, so just imagine when you're drunk. Yeah, so it's like, it's
Drunk,
not gonna work.
sober, I ain't got nothing on me. I'm still scared. Like, I might got a warrant. I got a warrant? No, I don't got a warrant.
Have I paid my
I'm
car
just scared.
insurance?
Right.
Oh, right, exactly.
Right.
Is my tag? Is my tag good?
Right,
Everything,
my lights,
like,
because
right.
then I feel like it sucks when your lights out, when your back light is out too, because it's like you don't know your back
Yep.
lights out.
Right.
Right. Somebody tell
Yep.
you. So I'm getting pulled over. I'm getting a ticket
Yep.
for my. Come on, I didn't
Yeah.
know that was out. Ugh.
Yeah. So yeah, don't take the test. Yeah, you can't pass. You can't pass that test.
I did it once, but I was sober and I loved it. I loved every moment of it.
Well, yeah, because
I
you,
was like,
yeah.
go ahead, yeah.
Right,
I
and
want
then you
that
didn't
line.
admit.
You want to blow my breath? Come on, baby. Come on.
But see, you knew you were sober.
I was sober as
Yeah,
hell.
but don't do it.
Excited.
Not even with one drink. Don't even do
Okay,
it.
got
Don't
it.
even tell them like I
Okay.
drank a beer. Don't say anything because they have something called DUI less safe, where like you admitting to drinking, you pass the stuff, but you also told them you were drinking. So then it's still this. You still got to go through the same stuff. You're still gonna go to jail. You're still gonna have to like bond out, get a lawyer, the whole thing. So
Yeah.
it's like at that point, don't tell them like, were you drinking? No. Like make them work.
Okay.
Make them work for it.
But I do really think that, like, I know because, like, DUI school, there was, like, driving is a privilege, and if you do turn down the test, you're automatically giving up. There's, like, there's you know, like, terms and conditions when you, like, sign for your, like your license. I want to say that's what it is.
Really?
I want to say that's what it is.
Look into it.
Yeah. If you turn it down, that means you automatically waive your rights to a license, and your license is suspended or something like that, and you have to pay something, like, $250 something like that to get it back. I know I've done it before.
But I'd rather pay $250 than to,
True.
like, you know.
Right.
Because, I mean, either way, you're probably going to jail regardless. At that point, you're going to jail regardless.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, something I think about often is, like, I'm always like, okay, at a bar, there's a parking lot. And this parking lot is full of all these cars.
Right.
Of people that are in here, these patrons, drinking probably well beyond their BAC levels. And at the end of the night, all these cars are no longer here anymore. They drove home or to the next destination, the next club, bar, whatever it is. And I'm like, they're not sober.
Right.
Absolutely not. And I serve them. And I'm like, in my head, like, would it be, if we made parking less accessible for people, like, would we have less DUIs? I don't know. I just think about that all the time. I'm like, and then like everybody essentially is drinking and driving. And I don't want to just flat out say that because that sounds like but I'm like, but seriously, come on.
That's the actuality of it. Yeah.
The reality of it is, all these cars, this whole parking deck for this whole complex of bars and this cute little food hall, like, they're all here to drink.
Right.
They all just drove home.
Right.
So what are we
like the
really
clubs,
saying?
all that.
Like, I mean, but that's, and I'm like, I don't even know how to have a conversation around that.
But
But
it's not your responsibility though, because that's what we got to. The whole topic is drinking responsibly for yourself, right? You know, like making sure that you have, like, you know, the designated driver, you know, that you are capable of driving home and stuff like that. And I do feel the guilt though. I get that. The guilt. It's like, no, I did that. But it's like, no, because you didn't do that.
You didn't do that, or you're probably bound to be on the other side of it either way. So it's like, are you going to be hypocritical? Like,
I just want to...
You feel the guilt of it, but then you're going to be that person getting in that car.
Yeah. I guess for me, I just wanted to, like, put that in the minds of people's heads sometimes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like, are we actually paying attention to that? Like, that's what's happening. Like, everybody at this place that got a car in this parking lot all had multiple drinks at this place, and they all went home. So
some made it, some didn't.
Are we really trying to say that, like, oh, I don't drink and drive? Who? Because I can tell you how many, you don't even think just how many cars are out here. And
right. Well, maybe you drink and you let your BAC get, like, you know,
that part.
Right. So maybe you did it
that part.
You put your water in, you use your restroom, you flush your
That's
system.
what you want to believe.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
what you hope for.
That you hope for.
And then I mean, when I'm on the road, I'm always cognizant of the car that, like, hold up.
Absolutely.
The other drivers.
They don't swerve 2
Absolutely.
times. Let me get over here.
Right.
Like,
I've done that plenty of times.
Now sometimes I'm by myself. I'm like, yeah, I'm by you. Like, yeah. You know, but
hit me.
Yeah, I drive on that far right lane.
Away,
I ain't got time for that. Y'all want to speed not crazy.
No, I've been the anonymous caller, and I've called. You know, like,
really,
I have.
One time I had to call too. Yeah,
plenty of times because you know I used to leave work at like 6 a.m., 5 a.m. or something like that. When I was leaving Buddha, I would leave at like 5 a.m. and I would see cars swerving. And I'd be like, I don't feel good about this. This license plate XYZ.
Really?
Yeah, I have.
I don't think I've ever felt an urge to do that. But I've.
I mean, you done seen them swerve like 4 times.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that
I'm
much.
Worried.
Mine was when I saw an 18-wheeler. It kept swerving, and then they turned and went down the wrong side of the highway.
Oh, no.
And they had no regard for it. Like, they didn't even ever try to course correct or anything. And they drove all the way. And then I think I was the first caller, and she's like, ma'am, can you turn your flashers on? Can you do this? Because we've had like 10 callers coming. And I'm like, yeah, he has to be drunk. Like, he was swerving on our side, and then he, like, I don't know what happened, and he went on the other side of the highway.
Woo!
And, like, so, yeah, that's the only time I call when it was, like, severe.
Yeah. That's pretty
because I don't ever want to assume, like, you know.
Yeah.
Because I've been that mom, like, reaching the back seat.
Right, next
like,
thing you know,
right.
Yeah,
or that sober designated driver dealing with a bunch of drunk people,
right.
and you're
like,
like, stop! And you swerve and you get pulled over, like me,
Right.
and actually have to take that breathalyzer, but I was confident because I knew I hadn't drank, so I was like,
that's the best time. Yeah, I've never had to do it, though. I've never had to actually do it.
yeah. Maybe let's talk about some ways to avoid drinking and driving. So we mentioned Uber and Lyft. I think that there are some precautions with that too, though. But you've dealt with some of those cases, so what does that look like on that end?
So I've never had like an Uber driver that was drunk, but I've had people that were drunk get hit while in an Uber. If that makes sense. So like the Uber that they're in gets hit by whatever, just like a regular car accident.
Okay.
And that's why I say I don't ever trust Ubers either, because when I'm drunk, I don't trust anyone. So like I need someone that's for sure. Like Uber, that's just random people. But even with those, even like drunk people are never hurt. Like they don't ever get hurt. But just always go to the emergency room just to make sure. Because Uber carry like $1 million policies, and what you'd hate to happen is for something to happen.
You're saying as a drunk passenger, like, and the person who was driving, just regardless of any accident, you always go to the hospital.
Yes.
Even if you're not hurt, like
yes.
you're good. Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Always go just to see. Because what you felt, what you hate to do is, the pain doesn't normally hit until like in the first 72 hours, you're like in shock. Like, I was just in an accident. You're like invincible. The pain starts to settle in like day 2, 3. But at that point, you're starting to put gap in between it to where like the insurance company, like, we didn't cause that. She works at Amazon and she lifts 300 pounds every day. Amazon did that, not us. So if you go that day, get seen, put it out. This is what I am. I'm sore. This is what I'm feeling. At least it's already documented. And then from there, we can like take it from there. Versus when you wait too long, put too many gaps. There's nothing I can do for you at that point. Like, sorry. Like, you'll get something, but it won't be like what your case was actually worth.
Yeah.
So just always go. Emergency room, urgent care. If you have a primary care that you can get in within 24 hours, try to get in with them. If you don't want to do the emergency room, but I always tell people emergency room.
I love the fact that you're here, because I'm like, people that hear this and that like, they're like, oh my gosh, I need a lawyer because I was in this thing, and it's like, oh, well, I know one because I watched this podcast.
But no, I hear people too that have
so
like
cool.
really good cases, and it's like, well, did you go? No. Or did you get a police report? That's also very important. Always get a police report. Always make sure your name is on the police report too, because with the Uber driver, we had to track down the passengers that were in the Uber because they were like drunk, so they didn't give their information. But we knew there was 3 people in the car. So it's like insurance companies, like, they're not on the police report, they weren't in the car. But it's like, no, ma'am, like, Uber has it documented, they paid, but there was like a whole process of like getting them on the police report. So always police report and go see a doctor.
Got it. Yes, ma'am.
Main 2 things, and then contact your attorney, and then from there, we'll get you where you need to go.
But that's so hard to say, because like, when you're drunk in an Uber, like, you've already lost control and stuff like that.
I'll be sleeping my Uber.
That's exactly. So it's like, but then now you gotta remember, like, shoot, we're in a car accident. I gotta go to the hospital. I gotta make sure I get a police report. Like, but you.
Well, the Uber driver 9 times out of 10, they're gonna get one because they want to be able to like, something gets controlled with their app, so they want to number one prove that they weren't liable. So you really don't have to be responsible for that, but just making sure that like you can remember which Uber you were in, because it's all computerized. So I can then be like, okay, you took an Uber, you ordered. They have like a confirmation number. You probably never seen it, and then from there I can like go behind the scenes and get what I need. And then even if the next day you wake up and we get you to the hospital next day, that's fine. Okay, but it's just like, I was in an accident 3 weeks ago.
That's me.
And I'm like, okay.
I am. I'm a procrastinator.
Did you go to the doctor?
I'm a huge procrastinator when it comes to that stuff.
I think my neck still hurts from that time.
Like, I turned and then I realized I couldn't go all the way. Can you help me?
At that point,
baby, it's too late.
It's too late. But, I mean, someone will fight the good fight for you. Just probably not me.
No, see, and that's the thing too, because like sometimes when you go through stuff like that, like, you know, like, you don't want to be a burden, or you ain't trying to go to court, or like, you just, it happened, I'm okay, like, moving on and stuff like that. But I understand like the legality of it and like the seriousness of it, because like that's where the bread is at.
Especially when you're really hurt. I've heard people say like, oh, I didn't want to get them in trouble with their insurance company. No, baby, that's what they pay for. Like, they pay a premium every month that covers them for this, and if you know they cause the accident, they should be paying a higher premium, not you, because somebody has to eat that cost. So it's either them or they're gonna like spread it over to all their clients.
Interesting. Continuing on Uber and Lyft, have you ever? I feel like with Uber and Lyft, sorry, I have something in my eye. There's also this like hesitation I have sometimes with like, because like there's a lot of sex trafficking going on, a lot of weird creepy shit.
I'm drunk, I do not do it. That's what I'm saying. Like,
what I'm saying.
Like, it's not like car service is not me being bougie, but it's like if I'm drunk, I'm already know, and I feel like they pick up on that. Like they,
and it's been happening more recently than ever.
Yeah, I had a friend not long ago. She wasn't even super young. But she just felt like the person wasn't following the route. And so finally she had to like pick up a phone call and like talk to like, act like she was talking to her husband. She talked to her nephew. She's like, hey, yeah, I just want to let you know I'm in Uber XYZ 123 blah, blah, blah. We're headed here. Is there traffic? Do you know what's going on? Next thing you know, course corrected. Got it back going right. So I don't even trust, and she was sober coming from the airport. So I don't even trust her. I'm very like cocky.
In the middle of the day?
In the middle of the day.
Oh,
so it's like, yeah, and even just watching your surroundings now, completely unrelated to this, but it's like all the stuff that they've been doing with like putting the money, luring you, like you're drunk, you're like, oh, there's money on the ground, bend down, got. Or there's something in your door.
Oh, with the stuff,
like
the drugs, yes,
the fentanyl on the stuff, or even they're like placing money on the ground, like you're like, what? I found $20, as soon as you go to get it. Yeah, so it's like when you're drunk, the little
yes, I saw that,
money in your windshield, like driving home. If you make it all the way home, you grab it, but don't just,
Wow, we're going to continue a little bit more on this after this short little break. So we're back. I want to talk about Safe Ride being like another option for drunk drivers.
Right.
Karen.
I was saying, I remember Safe Ride. It was like a 1-800 number that you used to call, and it was volunteers. It was like a non-profit organization. And you would go, and literally, like, it was basically Uber before it was Uber. Like, people who were, like, getting volunteer hours that would, like...
sounds familiar. I feel like...
Because the plus was, see, let's talk about the hesitation with Uber sometimes. I don't want to leave my car here. I want to take my car. Right. They would come get you and drive you home in your car so that your car could go home with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And take your car. And someone was following you.
Oh.
Yeah. But that was the thing. So it was, like, 2 people in the car.
I'm pretty sure it still exists. I just don't think it's as popular.
I don't think that it exists anymore because Uber is so popular. But it was. I remember it was non-profit.
Because people Uber there and back normally.
You know.
Right.
Yeah. Like you're cognizant of when you're gonna have that night. Oh, you're not. I'm very cognizant of when I'm having that night. I know when I'm having that night.
No, but I was gonna say that too.
You're right.
Because like so Safe Ride was like the safest thing because I mean I guess that was before people were.
It was before Uber and Lyft.
Yeah, but it was before people were more antsy about getting in other people's cars, I think. I don't know. But I was going to ask that too because, like, I'm going on a trip in a couple of days, and I'm literally landing, like, at, like, 11 p.m., like, midnight type shit, like, in Arizona. I've never been to Arizona before, so I'm like, okay, so what am I going to do? Like, should I get an Uber? Should I get a taxi? Should I call a car service? Like, what's more safe? Like, as a woman, in a city that I've never, at midnight, like, what am I going to do? Scottsdale.
Where you? I'm about to go to Scottsdale. Where you go?
You do really? So that's what I was gonna ask too. Because the person that I'm gonna go see, should I just call her and be like, hey, can you just get someone to come pick me up?
That's normally what I do. Or like, if I'm coming to see you, and if it's late like that, either one, I'm gonna get you to like come get me, or I need you to send somebody that you know,
that you know personally, exactly. Because I was like, Uber is supposed to be safe because it's like they track you,
but that's
right. And then taxis are like union and stuff like that. But even like. What's it called? Like car services are like, like corporate or whatever like that. But even then, like as a woman traveling alone in a city that you've never been to, like how do you even get around?
That's a good point. So yeah, I would definitely call my friend. She gotta come get me.
That's what I'm saying. If Carrie got something, I'm see.
Yeah.
I know somebody. Like, hey, just like, and I'll pay you. I'm not gonna, I don't expect
I'm very cognizant of Ubers and
I'm not even going to like a hotel. I'm going to Airbnb.
So then there's no one be around.
Cameras, exactly.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you have to be cautious. Like,
especially at that time, they recognize. And they can spot out of towner easily.
But that's the thing. I learned that through traveling. Like, you never tell whoever you taxis or whatever that. Like, you act like you've been there before. Like, oh yeah.
I'm coming home.
I'm coming home, exactly.
Yeah.
Cause then,
where are you from? Here.
But then they be asking other questions. I just don't know how to lie. I can't keep up. They like literally they'll ask me other questions.
Just be rude. Just be on your phone. Yeah.
What'd you say? Sorry, I'm in a meeting.
Exactly.
I'm always in a meeting. Something.
You could do it.
Okay, I'm gonna call y'all. Hey y'all.
Right.
I'm just clocking in.
Exactly.
And they be like, okay, that's the key word.
Yeah.
Because I'm not.
Right.
I don't know how to do
know
that.
Oh no.
I'm too honest.
Like, oh no.
I'm way too honest.
I go to Miami.
That's to strangers. You're honest to strangers.
Sometimes.
You
taxi drivers. People that you might never see ever again.
You and Tony scare me with that. My
Sometimes.
brother's like that. He will meet somebody and like just they know everything.
I'm not gonna trust them, but I'm like,
You talking to him?
I will talk to
What
them.
you telling them their business for? I'm like, they don't know you. I'm like, you could be a psycho killer.
Right.
He's like, well, you gotta live some. Live some. You ain't
No.
gonna live. You ain't gonna make it. Like, no, I don't trust nobody. I don't tell anybody.
I don't know. I'm an open book, and I'm like, if
I
you-
can. I used to be like that. I can be like that. I was like that. But then
What happened?
just I mean, you hear things, and then you grow
I
up.
don't trust no. Yeah, I don't trust
Yeah.
anybody. People are crazy. Like
They
they'll
have to be
mask
more
themselves as
exactly.
like the most. I love them.
I feel but see, I've also felt like I've met people that did that, and it still hasn't scarred me to change. Because I'm big on like, that's who I am as a person, and I don't want people's like,
Other people's experiences too.
or their illness and their like evilness to change who I am as a person.
Yeah.
Because that's really who I am. So I'm like, I gotta alter who I am
Right.
because
Just think
I
about the
gotta be
details.
all.
Right.
No, I'm just.
I feel you like that too. Like, I don't want to live in fear. Like I don't want to be afraid
Well, yeah,
to go to
yeah.
Scottsdale. Like I'm not afraid, but at the same time, I want to be cautious.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
I would be cautious too, but I'm like, I feel like now 11 p.m. I'm like,
Right.
I'm just going to visit my friend.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not from here, but I'm going to my friend's house. It's her house. I might say that's the way it's like, yeah, clearly if you ask me too much and I don't know the answer, it's because I'm not from here. But I am going to my friend's house and that's who you're dropping me off at. Like, I'll just
Right.
lie and say that. That's about as far as I'll go.
Oh, you told too much.
I did?
Already?
See, that's too much?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't help it.
I don't tell nothing.
Really? Well, it's easy. Like, I'm a lawyer. Sorry, on a call.
Not even that. Like, even
On
if
case.
I'm not, I'm just gonna I'm okay just sitting there looking at you.
Yeah.
So-
yeah. So eventually,
I don't know
like,
how
yeah.
to do that with
Like, I
drivers.
can
I
be-
be trying to figure out how to like
No.
shut them up. Like, I don't want to talk to you anymore.
So don't talk.
Yeah.
I feel too guilty when I'm mean.
I'm
Yeah.
not mean. I'm be like, hey, how are you? And then that's it. That's all you getting out of me.
So when they start asking questions, what do you do?
What do you mean ask questions? I'm not even giving them
What do you mean,
like
questions?
my expression is not.
So
even,
what's that expression? Show me how to.
I
have
don't
my
know.
face.
It's just like
I mean, I just be on your phone. That's my thing. Is be on
Yeah.
my
Be on
phone.
your phone.
or the
you're
second. Maybe
Yeah.
not even realizing.
Oh,
it.
you know what to do when they ask a question? Huh? And they guess
Yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah.
Huh?
Right.
Or like I'm
Huh?
just down.
Real short.
Or like
yeah.
I make notice like what'd you say? Like
Right.
headphone. Like what'd you
Also,
say?
even if I don't have it,
And then it goes
anything
right back
planned.
in. Like
Do that much.
like
Okay,
don't ask me
noted.
nothing else.
Right.
Yeah.
Got
I
it.
mean, sometimes I don't mind talking to the Ubers though. I
Mm-hmm.
like talking to the Ubers, but I don't want to be telling them all my information. But you're right though, because sometimes I feel like I have in the past where it's like I'm never gonna see this girl ever again. It's cool.
Most people I talk to, I don't see again.
Right. But then
don't
I
care.
did have that one Uber driver that got my number.
And
And she was trying to text me to hang out the next day.
That's what I'm saying. Like somehow, some way, I feel like they have access to your stuff.
Right.
So it's
because
like-
then she did have my number.
Yeah.
So.
Because they can text you like whatever from their
Right.
little thing.
Right,
So
right.
I'm like,
Chill.
I'm not playing. I don't trust. There's too many stuff. I can find anybody by their numbers and stuff in the computer. So now I know where you stand here because I done dropped you off. I know your number. Like,
I'm not gonna admit to some of the things that I've allowed for Uber driver because I one time I couldn't get into my Airbnb and I was so confused and they had to help me figure it out. I know it was, and I was
Wow.
just like, I
Push you in
know
the-
he
oh.
could have fucking like kidnapped me, did anything, and I was just like, God, just be with me today. 'cause
right. I mean, I guess too. In that point, I guess like
I needed
also,
help. I didn't figure.
You just gotta
I
read
couldn't-
the energy too. Like
Yeah, that's
like,
exactly.
if you are a good kid,
Right.
like judge of energy, like
Right.
who am I talking about? and
For
who
the
am
most
I
part,
fighting?
yeah. But when I'm sober, I am. It's when I'm a little intoxicated. And I'm
Right.
a little thrown off.
On good energy.
Everybody's good people when you're drunk.
Yeah, exactly. When I'm sober, I can always tell the energy. When
Right.
I'm a little drunk, I can't always.
No?
So, yeah. I want to move on, and I want to talk about, more irresponsible behaviors when we're intoxicated and what that kind of translates to the next day as far as hangovers. And so remedies for those, So when the damage has been done, what do you do? What's your process? How do you get through it? Whoever wants to go first.
I mean, I said this before, like, I don't drink unless I know I have the day off. Like, I have to have, like, a real recovery day. Like, I'm not, if I'm drinking and I know I'm gonna have a good time, like, I'm not working the next day because I already know I'm gonna be sick. Like, I'm gonna have, like,
So you know you gonna be sick.
You already accepted that? You accepted it?
I accept it, and I know it's gonna happen. You know, but luckily, you know, like it hasn't happened very recently. But I just know, like in preparation, like I'm not gonna be a very functioning person the very next day. You know, so that's my way of like setting the tone. You know, when I'm drinking.
Yes,
you know?
that's the
like,
first thing for you.
Right, exactly. Just like to know like what am I getting myself into the very next day.
So what does that next day look like once you're sick, quote unquote sick? Like what?
Right,
what do
I
you
love
do?
that we call it sick.
I want to know.
Nobody want to call. Oh, I'm sick.
I mean, no, I mean.
I'd be like, this is self-care. This is self-care. I'm working from the bed. I mean, I'm still working.
No, seriously, right.
With my laptop.
Now, when I'm like that, I don't like. If I've gotten that drunk, I'm not work. I can't work because everything's still spinning. So for me, if I'm smart enough about it, once it's there, I'm gonna take a BC Goody powder and like club soda.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know what the club soda does, but I can't do water. Water at that point,
absolutely not.
water at that point is too late.
Absolutely not.
And I'm hoping I can hold the BC down. And if I can, when I wake up the next day, I'm just gonna be just feeling the effects of it.
Okay.
If I can't do that, then everything has to come out, like literally.
Got it.
Like, yeah.
Karen,
That's
what
the
about
only
you? Like, what does that next day look like as far as remedy and recovering? What's the recovery path for you?
I mean, usually I'm fine. I just like, you know, you gotta get the soup. Like, I gotta get my pho in. Like,
Okay, so you're
clears you from everything.
That's what everybody
I'm convinced.
says.
Like, I can have. If I
gotta
had
get me some noodle
COVID,
soup.
and I was like, you know what? This medicine ain't doing it. Go get me some pho.
Right.
Literally.
And it works.
Yes. I don't know what's in the broth, but everything's in that
Sometimes the
broth.
sodium
The
is too
good
high
broth.
in the pho.
I
give you that.
I love my salt.
I'll
I
give
love
you
my
that.
salt.
I don't know. It gives me cardiac arrest.
Right.
Really?
I'll be like, heart attack. I can't.
I just need some, like, you know, good starches, like some good rice, some good bread, you know, some sandwiches or something like that, you know, like, and I mean, I'm just sleeping the rest of the day. I'm chilling, I'm sleeping, I'm not getting dressed, I'm in the bed.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
it's the
I'm
very
hoping I
next
didn't do
day.
nothing I regret. Like,
That's
you
what
know?
I said.
Like,
and to me, that's not even like, some people think when you say that, it's like sexual. It's not
No,
sexual.
no,
It's not sexual
period.
at all.
Right.
It's like, what did I say?
Right, did I say something wrong?
Because I'm
Did I
an
offend
overthinker.
anybody?
Someone's feelings,
Right.
Did I neglect one of my boundaries that I set up for people? You know what I mean? Like, you know, am I good?
Right.
The
I always,
Right.
so I record a lot when I'm out.
I do
but my
too.
stuff never makes, like, no matter what I do, because I don't post anything. So nothing ever makes it out. But it's all for me to, like, the next day to
I do
run
that
through
a lot too. I'm
and
just
I
like,
read.
what
I'm
the
like,
fuck?
hey, like, were you, like, are we good? Like, you know, if I see something, like, out of the line. But I definitely have to replay.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yes.
that's when I speak of, like, whatever, like, regret. Like, what did I do? Like, let me go through these pictures to make sure nothing.
People's
these
all,
videos.
I literally do
So,
that
like,
all the time.
I've been lucky enough and I guess blessed enough to, like, never black out. I've
Oh,
never
me either.
not been able to tell you every single thing that happened and was said the night before.
Nah, I can't. I can't.
I
do
would
that.
say in my,
I have the script. Like, I can tell you, I was like, no, she said this. And they were like, oh, yeah, she did say that. And I was like, yeah, I
That's
remember.
good. That's
I
good.
remember.
See, somebody have to start jogging my memory, like, to get it, like, play me and, like.
That's what's crazy, because, like,
I
I got plenty of homegirls that be like, oh, I blacked out. I'd be like, damn, like, you was black. I didn't even know you was blacked out. Like,
Really?
whole time.
No, I have had those people
blackout
too.
mean, like, are you, like, out, but can you be blacked out and still
functioning.
function? Oh, okay, so maybe I have then, because there's a time when people that gave me the whole playback.
So that's blacked out. That's
Functioning
blacked out.
and you like, I don't recall.
Right, I
I
remember that.
I have
recently.
never seen
I
that
went
man. As
I
Kiki
think
Palmer
it was
would
the-
say, I've never seen that man in my entire life. I don't know who that man is.
Okay, so I'm thinking blackout, like, you know, like, you're out.
Like, you faded, like, you sleep and stuff like that.
Okay, no. So
That's
maybe
just
I
like
have.
when you just
No,
because
I don't
because
recall.
there's also, what is it, gray out, like when you're like kind of there,
maybe I'm
almost
grayed
there.
out then, because
Yeah.
recently when the Falcons had their game, we went and my sister and they thought I was like, did someone like spike your drink? They said like, and I was like, what? I was doing what? What did I do? Like, and they came home. I was just
And
sitting
you don't remember none of it.
I was sitting on the front porch. And they were like,
Wow.
why you didn't go in the house? I was like, I couldn't find the key.
Dang.
Key was in my hand, like, but I don't remember. And so she was like, you know, but still, drunk people, most are depressed. I wasn't driving though. I was going through something. I admit it.
Let's make
But
that
it
clear.
was like the best time of my life. So yeah.
Oh,
Maybe.
really?
So when I think of blackout, like I'm thinking like I'm out on the ground. No, I've never done that. But maybe
Blackout,
I'm grayed
like,
out.
Just like you don't remember.
yeah,
I blacked
people
out
like,
things sober. Like, I'm crossing out my memory. I don't know what happened.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah, no. See, I've been lucky enough that I've never had that happen to me. I can tell you the whole thing.
No, I can't tell you the whole thing.
I'll tell you what he did. I'll tell you what she did.
That's good.
Yeah.
You got a good tolerance.
I wouldn't say. I would say because I know my limit though. Mm-hmm. Like I will stop. I'm drinking the Red Bull at that time. Mm-hmm. And I'm just watching. You know. But I mean, there are times where like I've gotten really drunk and I've gotten like really sick. And then that was just my personal night, you know. Like I'm in.
Yeah. So when I have when I'm graying out, blacking out, that's when I already know. Like I've already accepted what it's gonna be like. I'm not here to remember nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
I do think sometimes I just like things in my hand.
Yeah.
And so
I think that's true. That you might have a point.
I like to have.
When
it's empty, I'm like, this is embarrassing.
Right. Let me go get another one.
Right.
That was a foul thing.
I just
know
kept
what to going.
do with my hands sometimes. I'm just like, do I dance?
I think that's a thing for everyone.
Do I maybe touch myself? Do I touch the person? I don't know what to do with myself.
That's it.
And you know what I also realized? This is just me being completely honest. I've never shared this like publicly, but I always say that I'm a social drinker because I only drink when I'm in social settings. But I'm beginning to think that maybe I'm not as social as I think I am. Maybe that's because I drink.
Your reason.
Yeah, it's
because
like
you're creating social situations.
Right.
In order to drink.
Exactly. Like maybe that's what I need to consume while out because I'm actually not that social.
Right.
It's just what I need to
You're
have.
not?
I don't know.
She doesn't know.
I don't know. I'm just
you're very
saying.
social, friendly.
I think
you
social
definitely
too.
are.
Yeah.
But if you think about it in most social settings, I'm drinking.
Because you're creating the situation.
I'm not
I
mean,
but
in the social
I can be like that
setting.
too. You
know
know
what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm the one.
So I'm like,
you're in a loop.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
No, I understand that because I'm the one at the parties where I'm just like I got the tray of the shots and I'm just like serving everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the turn up one. You know what I'm saying? But no, I get what you mean. Like you're like creating situations in order for everyone to have a good time.
I am, and then I'm like, well, let me have a drink too.
Right.
So my remedy for hangover, I have a whole little spiel. So there's a thing that you can trust me on this. Some of the things that you guys said was very valid, and it's also in here. But first things first, put something on your stomach before you go to sleep. So if you know that this is a situation, if you know you're drunk before you even got home, put something on your stomach. Go to Chinese Buddha, Waffle House.
How?
You gotta put some on your stomach. You gotta put some on your stomach, and then before you go to bed, drink a bottle of water. Got to drink that bottle of water before you go. No. You know you
but
drunk.
We just said you can't drink water.
No, but when you're drunk, no.
Before you go to bed,
but right before you go to bed, like not when you room spinning, like it's kind of too late.
So you gotta wait for all that to settle.
Nah.
When do you drink it then?
I'm talking about like knowing you're gonna be hungover in the morning. I'm talking about a hangover remedy, not necessarily like going to bed like so trash you can't.
Oh, so this is the next day after you've had that
No,
night.
this is like knowing.
Are you guys Pedialyte people?
Huh?
Have you been in the
I'm
Pedialyte?
not. Everybody say that though.
That's on the list too.
Is it?
Powerade though,
I'm
and
a
Gatorade,
Powerade
Electrolyte, because
Electrolytes.
Pedialyte is too expensive. I just think it's overly expensive, and I think
For no reason.
You can get the same electrolytes and
Powerade
and Gatorade.
Right, but it's just a
Overly
marketing.
expensive.
Yeah, that's just a marketing thing.
But yeah, I think this is me talking is like I'm drunk. And I know I'm drunk, and I know I don't want to have a hangover tomorrow, but I'm not drunk like blackout. I don't know.
And you ain't
Right.
spinning.
Yeah, this is me consciously
Okay.
like, buzzed. That's a good question. But yeah, so drink some water before I go to bed. And then sometimes I even take an ibuprofen right before I go to bed. So that helps too, so I don't have that hangover, that headache in the morning.
Right.
And then the next day, absolutely no water. And I repeat, no water for the first 12 hours of that day. If you drink water, you're going to be nauseous. You're going to want to throw up, like you were talking about earlier.
Okay.
Don't drink water the next day.
Right.
You got to wait till the evening. No,
I don't agree.
No, I'm trying to tell you.
Water to live.
People have called me and texted me about this hangover remedy, and it works.
Because I can't never
it
get
works.
the water.
You
That's
can't
a certain
drink
point where
water.
You can't
drink water the next day. You have to wait until like the nighttime, or it's gonna make you want to throw up.
It is.
It does.
It's something I can't even get it down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would say when you wake up, it's gonna be kind of difficult, but go ahead and go to the gas station, get you a Powerade, and get you a ginger ale. That's very important. That Powerade you can chug.
Which ginger ale? Which are you? Are you a Seagram's?
Oh,
What's the
look,
one?
it's whatever they
Schweppes.
got. It's whatever they got, baby.
Whatever they got?
It's whatever they
Are
got.
particular?
Whatever's cheap, whatever they got. I don't
Okay.
care. You need to burp. Okay, the acidity, you really need to burp. So you go ahead and you chug most of that. You want water, but you can't, so you do the Powerade, the Gatorade. But that ginger ale is there when you start feeling like, can I survive? Can I make it through the workday? You take sips of ginger ale. That's going to work through your body. And then I would say put something on your stomach. And I highly suggest don't get Mexican. Don't get anything that's too spicy. You want something that agrees with you. You want to get something simple like burgers, fries, eggs, something of that sort. Like they said, Chinese food's great. Rice is great. Pho is great.
Pho will cure
Soup.
anything.
Like you
cure
need
anything,
to eat. You
literally.
need to eat. After you eating, or sometimes even while you're eating, you realize I need to go use the restroom, and I think that's very important. You need to go and have that bowel movement.
Yeah.
That bowel movement is almost like you throwing up, but you're not throwing up this way. It's coming out the other way.
It has to come out
and
one
it
way.
has to come out that way. You have to give your body that time. Like, don't feel weird about it. Like, just go ahead and do it. Release.
Yep.
Like, that part is very important.
Have you heard about the dads?
No.
I know what the dads are. The dads, it's like the day after drinking shits. Like
Yes, the day after drinking shits. That's
like, we don't want to talk about that, but you know it's a real thing.
It's a thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything has an acronym over there.
I'm saying. And so after you take that, you're gonna definitely take a nap. You need probably like a 2 to 3 hour nap, and it's gonna be. And if you're working like in a setting where you have to actually go into work, you're gonna be like, I can't make it. Yes, you can. You know, drink that ginger ale. As soon as you come home, take that nap. Take 2-3 hours nap. You'll be fine. You wake up from that nap, you're gonna feel better, but you're gonna still need to take that ginger ale. You're gonna have some sips of that. You're gonna be all right. By the evening, you're gonna feel a lot better, and then you can consider having water. But before then, you're not gonna be able to have water.
I don't like ginger ale though.
Really?
I don't like nothing with like sugar because I feel like
that's
the
fair.
sugar do something to
What
me.
is ginger ale?
Yeah.
I do feel like the sugar though helps
You
for
think the
me,
sugar
because
helps?
when I have just mineral sparkling water or soda water, it makes me it's too close to water. I need the sugar to
that's
coat
gonna give
it.
me like a true burp.
I need
I need
the sugar to coat it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, me and sugar
I do.
don't mix when I'm like that.
That's fair.
Mm-mm.
Some people might
I
be
can't
like
do
you.
Sugar. Even
I
the
mean-
Powerade, I got the Powerade Zero.
Yeah. Really?
Is that sugar? That sugar about to set me off. Like,
Really?
Yeah, it makes me nauseous.
I need it.
Oh.
Somehow it does something for me. So
Yeah. It's a Red Bull for me. The Red Bull and the water. I mean, I drink the water. I do.
I can't get the water in.
I gotta drink
But
the water.
it depends on like where I'm at. Like if I pace myself appropriately and been drinking water throughout, yeah, my body's like, okay, water, that's water. But if I was drinking, and now I'm trying to throw some water at the end, please, the water ain't going down. It's not going down. And if it do, it's immediately coming back up. Immediately.
I would love to address some myths before we move on to the next section. So like myths about drinking. So, you know, they say beer before liquor, couldn't be any sicker. Liquor before beer, you're in the clear.
Right.
Do you feel like, do you practice that? Does that work for you? How
I
do you
mean,
feel
I
about that?
don't drink beer.
I don't drink beer, period.
I don't
Yeah,
much
you don't
anymore
drink
either.
beer?
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm always looking at people just to see like how they're reacting.
Right.
But
I mean, that's how I've always tried to tell, you know, like in the groups and stuff like that, you know, like make sure if I'm watching them drink beer, I watch be like, hey, make sure that they're not drinking liquor. And
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Right?
so which one goes first? Liquor?
What's
Liquor.
Beer?
What was it? What is it saying? Beer before liquor.
Never
you're
been
even
sicker. Mm-hmm.
Liquor before beer, you're in the clear.
Okay, liquor before beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So drink beer at the end.
Okay.
Basically.
I always just
Yeah.
watch people. You know, country people. They just can drink anything.
Moonshine.
Country people, I'm like, they ain't no order. They don't care. Like what?
Moonshine.
But you know what though about country people? What I
Yeah.
will notice, they can drink moonshine like the cheapest of the cheap all day long. You bring them.
That
some
gives me the
top
shit. When I do
shelf
cheap shit,
liquor.
I be like shaking.
Mm-mm.
I be like,
Moonshine?
just cheap things.
Yeah.
They make me shake. They
But
give me
no,
the shakes.
they can drink it. You bring top shelf, they all gonna be sick the next day.
Their
Literally,
body's, like,
true
conditioned for
country,
that.
Country people, like the ones.
Is that a thing though? You know, like
What?
is that like one of those myths too? It's
What?
like if you like only drink like
moonshine?
Your body
shit,
does get
I think
accustomed
it
to
has
things.
to.
Yeah,
I don't think
So,
it's
like,
that.
yeah.
Your body just gets accustomed to certain things.
that could be it.
That's all.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like I'm only used to drinking like bottom shelf tequila or something like that, and then all of a sudden I drink like one shot of like some Patron or something like that.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm
what I was about to
sitting,
say. I
like-
remember like when Patron like first became a thing, and my uncle used to have like all these big parties, and everyone would just drink cheap stuff, and he would bring out like a big bottle of Patron. And the next day, he'd be like, I don't want none of that shit you had yesterday. I was sick as hell. Like, just going off. And it was like,
Really?
Patron? But that dang plastic bottle, whatever.
That's
That could
another
be
thing.
it. You're right though, because it's tolerance too. Because I remember like when I first started drinking, I was only drinking Hennessy. That's because that's what my dad would drink. So I literally was just drinking whatever he was drinking. And I started branching out to other things, but I knew I could drink Hennessy like straight. Like me and my friends would
I
drink
cannot.
bottles.
Every time I drink Hennessy, I end up.
But because I was accustomed to it though, because I grew up on it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, you get used to it. Start drinking other stuff. Start drinking tequila, and I was just like, "What is happening?" Like, what
So
is
maybe
this?
that's right, yeah.
Right. You get used to
Same
it.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cause yeah, you want to see some country people get drunk.
Right.
Give them some expensive.
Because you know how some
liquor.
people say they're like, "Oh, I can't drink tequila because it makes me
crazy.
Like, yeah, or
Gin to
something.
make you sin.
Gin
Tequila
makes
make you
you
crazy.
right. You know, like, if I drink brown, I'm gonna start fighting people or something.
Right.
Like, everybody has their own things, I guess. Like I mean, I guess like,
know your
it could be
limits.
true.
Know what works for you. Don't
Right.
bend under pressure. That goes back to that. What about the hair on the cat's? I'm saying this wrong. Hair on the tongue, hair on the dog on the chest.
What you mean, like,
hair in the tongue.
in order to get rid of a hangover, you drink some more?
Yes.
Oh, well, yeah, I've seen people do that.
Cat on the hare's tongue. Am I saying it right?
I don't think that's what it is.
What's that?
Hair on the dog.
You're right.
Something like that.
I made it so dramatic. You're right. It's hair on the dog.
What does that
It's
mean?
Hair of the dog.
hair of the dog.
Yeah.
Basically, like the next day you're so hungover, the best thing for you to have is more
Another drink.
alcohol
Yeah,
because when I'm on a weekend, like a festival weekend or something, hey baby.
Does it work for you?
Oh yeah, we're drinking prosecco and we're going right back into the
Right.
night. We're going
I see
into
people
it.
wake up and have that beer.
I love that.
Ooh.
One of my favorite songs is is Signs by Drake. And the line is like, basically it's the morning time and he's like, the day doesn't, the day or something about the day not starting unless there's champagne. Like, and I was like,
Sounds like a good day.
sounds like amazing.
No, but that is true though. I mean, I have heard. I've never done that though.
I've never done it either.
Usually when I'm done drinking,
drink
I'm
the
done.
next day?
Yeah,
Girl,
like to get
Oh
over
my
the hangover.
gosh, yes.
Courtney, when I'm done drinking, I'm done drinking.
Yeah, because at that point, at that point, I'm praying to the Lord, like, look,
Right.
I
I'm
promise.
so
If
sorry.
you bring me through this one last time, I am done drinking.
I
So you
stopped
think for me
praying.
to even,
I stopped saying those
you think the
prayers
next day
a
I'm
long
gonna
time
turn
ago.
around and
That's
drink?
what
I just told the Lord
I've
to
been
be cool.
Well, I
Exactly,
stopped
like, I'm
saying
ready to
those
be
kind of
done.
prayers. I don't do
No,
those kind
I
of prayers
just told
anymore.
the Lord, bring
No.
me through. I learned my lesson. So
No,
I can't drink
like I
the
said,
next
I've
day.
had an unhealthy amount of commitment in this learning process into what works for me. That a point where it's like I wake up the next day and I'm just like, if I feel, I know exactly what I need to do.
Yeah, it'll work. It does work.
That's not to say I'm drunk the next day,
I can't do it.
but there are times when I sound like such an alcoholic. But there's
No.
times when I wake up the next day and I'm still drunk and I'm just like, well, I'm drunk.
Right.
At least I ain't hungover.
Might as well.
Hey, I'm with it. Like I definitely have had those days, and I'm like, and then it hits me at like 4 or 5 p.m. I'm just like,
Right,
Right. What have I done? What have I done?
right.
Oh gosh.
Right. I mean,
Uh,
yeah, drunk weekends, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about mostly.
But I'm
like on a
not
regular
blessed
day.
to have drunk weekends. Like I get one drunk night and that's it. Like I don't get the chance to just be like drunk for like a whole week.
Right.
Especially with our career path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what we do for a
That's what I'm
living.
saying. I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Exactly.
Like,
I'm talking about the times when I'm not working.
Like on vacation?
And-
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
man,
talking about
those are the
vacation.
best.
I'm talking about like,
I
I got
needed
the next
that.
day off. I'm celebrating something with
Yes.
a friend and they're here for the weekend and I had to work that night, but I finished and I drank with them and then the next day I don't have to work and I'm
Yep.
like I'm talking about that scenario, not just talking about
Yep.
like,
A
oh,
regular
it's a
weekend.
day and I
Right.
gotta get back. And
right.
like, no, I can't afford to have hangovers. Oh my
Right.
gosh.
I remember I was on a cruise for like 3 days. I was drunk the whole 3 days. Like
Was it fun?
it was so much fun. We did not stop drinking the
We're
whole
about
time.
to go on a cruise.
And it was
I think-
unlimited.
When is your
drinks.
date? When are you going to the cruise?
I think it's in December.
Is it Carnival?
I think it's Royal Caribbean.
we're
I think
gonna take a
Carnival.
quick break and then we're gonna come right back. All right, so we're back, and I was curious to see how you guys, what your experiences are, or what you've witnessed. Like maybe the most irresponsible thing that one can do at a bar. What you've witnessed as a bartender, what you've witnessed as a patron. What's the most irresponsible thing? I just kind of want to like talk about that a person can do at a bar.
I mean, I guess irresponsible thing. Okay, so
Nothing's off limits.
I don't know what was going on in this man's life or mind or whatever like that. But all I know is that like he came in and I could tell he was a little bit, something was going on with him. Bad day, who knows. But he was sitting at the bar by himself and he just had a Corona. I gave him I just cracked open a beer for him and gave it to him. I don't know what possessed this man to literally, this is at Buddha, like literally just walked from the bar and just straight punched this family man in the chest. And I'm telling you, it's a family
With
man.
his family?
Family man! There's literally, he's just sitting at the table with his wife or who knows, just kids at the table. He just walked up to him and just punched him in his chest. And I was like, what is happening? The man just stood up. The kids are like, the wife is just like calm down. And I mean, like, I had to step in and, like, I mean, I took the L for the beer. I was like, just get out. Just get out. I literally just walked up to them and I was like, you got to get out. But I'm just like, what possessed you to do that? The man didn't say anything to him. Like, I mean, I really could have called like, he could have called the cops on him.
Right,
like, next thing you know, they could have been fighting. Like, I was just like, what possessed you to do that? So, I mean,
That's very odd.
it was just odd.
So
And
basically, don't fight. That's irresponsible.
don't fight.
Don't be picking no fights either.
And picking a fight, like,
Yeah.
out of nowhere. The man wasn't minding his own business, just eating his rice. Next thing you know, he just gets punched in the chest. And we all seen it happen.
That's
all
somebody who
saw
got
it.
some anger and they wanted to release it, and he felt like he could take it. Like, oh, this man looks like he can take it. Let me punch him.
Right.
What the hell? Who are you?
But I don't think he was in his right mind to even just do that. So I was just like, what possessed him to do that? But I just had to I just kicked him out. I just left him. I just was like, you gotta go. Like,
The thing is, I don't like is when, like, people get so drunk and they talk bad to, like, the bartenders. Like, that's the thing that, like,
they're ruining me.
Yeah, like, because I feel like the
calling
bartenders,
them bald-headed scallywags.
Yeah, because at that point I probably would have said something, you know, like, I'm the type, like, because I feel like you too nice, and you, like, you're not going to say, like, you know, sometimes the bartender's not going to say nothing, or, like, they'll be super nice. But whenever I see that, I just be like, okay, now I got to make my little side pity comment, or say something slick to you, like... but other than fights, yeah, people fight,
not picking a fight, not picking on the bartender, being rude to the bartender. I think that's great. I think some other ones are, don't get too drunk and take the signed copy of the receipt. You know, you get two receipts. You get two receipts. One's your copy, one's our copy. Or take both of them. There's people that sign them, you know, and they leave that itemized receipt, but they don't leave the signed copy. And so I'm like sitting there trying to read what they put there. Like, come on, man. I ain't doing this for free. I shouldn't have to do all this. Don't take the signed copy. Be aware, man.
I mean, I had people who forgot to pay. Or thought they paid and they didn't pay.
Sometimes they be lying.
Yeah.
They know they didn't pay.
I had people try to pay twice. You know, I did.
I don't mind. Let me create a little tab. That was $52.39.
Okay.
Right.
Tip.
No, I couldn't do it. I could never. I'd be like, no, you already paid me and you tipped me. They were like, I did. I'd be like, yes.
Yes,
but in the back of my head, I was like, damn it.
That would have been a good
Right.
right.
Right, they gonna wake up tomorrow like, I got charged twice.
Because I definitely am the person wake up tomorrow like, hey, did I tip you?
Right.
I'm happy that most of the people that well, let me stop. Shh, be quiet, Courtney.
That you do tip people?
I know I do. But you know how, like, if you're naturally a good tipper, even when you're intoxicated, you're a good tipper. So it doesn't matter.
Oh, I've been the overly generous tipper.
I've been that too.
I've been the overly... I done bought a whole restaurant. I done bought the whole table. I didn't even know who they were.
Oh, no.
It was like a group of like 15 people. I was like, I got them! I got them! I don't even know who they are.
Oh, God.
The generous one, you know?
Yeah.
I be generous sometimes.
That's good. I like those people. I love those people. I would say another one is bring your ID with you and don't assume that it's not needed. Even if you feel like, oh,
I'm 100.
I'm 45.
Right.
It's Georgia. We ID everywhere. Just expect it. You know, like some people get super casual. I guess some states are more casual about it. But I know in Georgia, like a lot of places, especially right before you come in, let me just see the ID. Oh, I don't got it. Oh my gosh, I'm 47. I don't need my ID.
Right.
So... They will not let you in if you don't have your
I know
ID.
young folks that look old, but they young.
Yeah.
That too. So just have your ID and don't make a big deal when people ask you for it. Relax.
Right.
I would say another one is don't leave your drink unattended. And at minimum, let your bartender know, because there's plenty of times somebody's like, I'm going to the restroom, can you wash my drink? And I'm like, yeah, and I'll pull it
back or behind the
or I'll put a napkin over it and
Yeah.
I'm watching it while I'm, you know, if it's not too busy, I got my eye on it. So that's another one.
I ain't living that.
That's something that I gotta be more cautious. I mean, but I only drink shots though, so I mean, really.
They go too fast.
Yeah.
They don't be hanging out long.
But I do gotta be careful about that too, because I don't be thinking about that. But it's a real thing.
Yeah.
You know? Like people spiking the drinks. Like
There's been times I've something's happened and I was like, nah, somebody had to pack my drink, because I don't usually act like that. Somebody, I don't know who it was.
But
I be
now
lying.
they have the like,
Somebody spiked my drink, because that is not in
That's not
character
you?
for me. That was not me. Somebody else did that. My drink was spiked. That's
Right.
what it was. I've been.
But to be cognizant too, like if you're out at a bar, like I'm seeing, I watch like random stuff all the time. But I'm seeing like the ploy where like the guy will come up to like talk to you, and like they'll like
Another
kind of
one.
like corner you, and you're like.
Right.
And then his friend is like behind him putting something in your drink.
See, I try not to be naive, but I be thinking like that ain't what happened to me. That just happens in movies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
No, it actually
happening
happens.
more and more.
There's a good show actually about this. It's on HBO. It's called, her name is Micah. Where's my phone? I'm about to look it up. I'm going to find it. I'm going to put it on the screen. But it's so good. It's basically, she's a writer and she goes to take a writing break because she's like, she's, what do you call it? Having writer's block. She goes to a bar and she has some drinks and she has too much with the person that she knows. And the guy she knows, his friend ended up taking her home, drugging her, taking her home, and, doing something inappropriate or, like, against her will, and her not being fully cognizant of it. And her not really realizing it happened until, like, 2 days later. Because she's, like, still putting the pieces together. And so the whole series about her putting this together and a bunch of, and not just her situation, but other people's situations that happen when they're out drinking and, like, not getting that consent, and it being, like, mild situations, not flat on rape, like, nothing dead on rape, but just, like, these mild encounters, uncomfortable situations that people have been put in. And she won an Oscar for it. And to me, it was, for some people, they're like, I can't watch that. That's too much. For me,
that's a good one, though.
I love it. I'm like, people need to talk about that stuff more to me. Like, that's important because that happens a lot. There's a lot of gray areas sometimes with that kind of stuff. Anywho. Yeah. Once I figure out what it is, I'm gonna put it on the screen because it's really
That's
good.
a good one for this episode too.
Yeah, it's really good. I
not.
highly suggest it. I'm gonna find it before we get off the thing. But don't get cut off. I feel like don't get into a situation where you have to get cut off because that's awkward. Like, no, we don't want to cut you off.
Nobody wants to get cut off.
You don't want to be cut off, and
off.
It's not fun. Like, we don't have fun doing that. Also, don't bring your relationship drama to the bar. Don't be there, like, yelling at your baby daddy on the phone, or y'all come on a date and you like, why are you looking at her? Fuck you, like let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Have I seen
Save
that?
it somewhere else.
Right.
The next thing I want to talk about was how to drink responsibly when hosting a private event. And I highly want to suggest that you guys book Spirit and Soul. You want professionals serving your guests at your party because we know what we're doing. We're insured. We know how to monitor consumption. We know how to do these things. We're professionals. So I'm going to always suggest that because if you got a party where it's just open bar and you got all the bottles on the table, you're not paying attention to that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Your guests are being overserved. They're not having the best experience. They think they are, but they could always have a better experience if you just hire a company like mine, Spirit and Soul. But, I'm just going to throw that out there.
No, that's
Quita,
smart. That
you
is
have some
smart.
other...
Yeah, because you're insured, but
I am.
Let's just say I have a private party. Like you said, liquor's there, people are serving. They leave my house. They're in an accident now. They're coming after my homeowner's insurance.
They could.
Your renter's insured.
Easy.
Easily, yeah. Especially if they cause an accident. Because the first thing they're going to say is, the first question the officer asks you,
where are you coming from?
Where you coming from?
Mm-hmm.
And people going to tell it every time.
McDonald's
very few people lie. Like, they're like, they don't know what else to say. They're going to say exactly where they came from. And then from there, the questions are going to start flowing. And so if they can say, oh, I came from Courtney's house. Okay.
But that's crazy because I never thought, like, okay, like, I came from Courtney's house and then I get into an accident. Like, it's on Courtney. You know?
You won't...
Well, it depends. If at Courtney's house you were overserved, Courtney's having a party, she invited you on. At that point, you're an invitee to her house. So, yeah.
It could
she
happen.
overserved you and left. Yeah, you should never let someone leave your house drunk if they were drinking at your house.
Right.
Because it's on you if something happens.
Dang.
That's why normally, like, my friends, when they're drunk like that, I'm like, no, you staying the night.
Right.
And that's why people do it. Like, they may not be telling you that,
Yep.
but that's literally why they're doing it, because they will be held responsible.
You can stay on the night.
Stay the night.
I did go ahead and find that movie I was talking about, or show. It's a series. I May Destroy You. It's so good.
That look creepy too.
He do look creepy. Why you gotta look
No,
like
that's
that?
a girl.
That's a girl.
That's a girl. I know this actress.
Yes, her name's Michaela. I said it wrong. It's Michaela, but it's spelled like Micah something.
But she's like bald. And
Yeah.
Like, she has like this whole persona.
Yeah.
Sorry,
She's in something else too, right?
Chewing Gum on Netflix.
Yeah, Chewing Gum.
Mm-hmm. That now I couldn't get into that. It was so weird when I first watched it. But after watching this, I'm like, I love her.
I might try it.
This is a great series. I May Destroy You. Anywho, last segment is Ear to the Streets. This is a part where I ask you guys, like, you know, you've been out and about, you know, drinks, food, what's the places to go, share with the people. We need to spread it around because it's a lot of pressure they give us. Like, where should I go? What should I do?
That's my favorite. I stay asking y'all.
Where should I go? What should I do? So I like to use this part to kind of like community, you know, share this for the listeners, share it for us, like anywhere. The theme is late night spots to grab food right before you go home. You know, if you're in an Uber and you're like, I need to eat. Me and the girls are out. Me and my friends are out. We need food before we go home so we don't wake up with a hangover. What's some good places for that? So I have a list of mine. Before I even had you on the show, before we even had that conversation yesterday, was it yesterday?
I think something like
day
that.
before, I literally had Chinese Buddha back in the day. That was on my list.
Back in the day.
Chinese Buddha used to be that place.
They're not open late night anymore. They're still there, but they're not open late night anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But that was my place to go. What do you mean? Like, even on my off nights and I was drunk, I was going to Chinese Buddha.
All I gotta do is make it to Chinese Buddha and I'm okay.
Make it there, yeah.
All I gotta do is get there.
Right.
If I get there, I'm good.
But now that Buddha's closed, like, my go-to is Pho. Like, there's Pho 24, which is the one that's, like, on Buford Highway, like, by Claremont, like, by Pony. Or what?
Okay.
You must live out that way
by
or
Follies.
something.
Yeah, I do live close to there.
Because I'm like, I wouldn't be able
I mean, if it's not, it's Waffle House. I mean, I'm still going to Waffle House.
I don't go that often, but that is always my backup.
Like, if it's not too late, Red Pepper Taqueria.
Mm-hmm.
That's my spot. I love that spot.
When do they close?
I want to say they close at 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Stop serving food like at 1:30.
No, they serve. I think they serve till 2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and their food is good. I like going there, but I mean, if it's just
yeah, and then
Pho's the only place that I know is open.
We always go to Zaxby's on Ponce, depending on like the day of the week. Cause you know
what time are they closed?
It was like 2, girl.
Zaxby's?
I let her put people onto that. Hey, well, let's go to Zaxby's. They close at 10. Not this one.
Let me try you.
This my new Chinese Buddha, not this one. But I think it's like Monday through Thursday they close at like midnight. Okay. But they do stay open later than like your average Zaxby's. But it's only the one on Ponce, so they stay open super late. Just be nice to the people because you can tell they be getting like they be going through. They be going through. Yeah, I already know. So I always be super nice. Cause
what's that pizza spot that Geno's? Are they still open late?
No, I don't think so. I don't even think it's there off of Ponce.
Geno's was off of
one of them just moved.
Cheshire Bridge, Piedmont and Cheshire Bridge.
Oh yeah, I think so.
I know that one.
Yeah. Right across from the
it's not
taco
there
spot.
anymore.
I've never been there, but I thought
Mama's the taco spot.
I have Mama's on here.
Yeah, Mama's.
You know, I think they've changed some recipes because I went there.
Oh, yeah, don't taste the same.
Yeah, don't.
I mean, that store, I can't even go in there no more.
It's a tortilla or something. It's all of it.
Mama's. Yeah, I haven't been there.
Yeah, that health score is horrible.
They changed some. It used to be so good.
Yeah.
It's not good anymore.
What's the other place with the parrots?
Oh, yeah.
Parents?
The parrots.
Parrots?
They got birds
outside. I remember one time I'm going to call Peter.
William Starts
yeah.
with the R.
Thomas.
I've only been there once. It was too different for me.
It was different.
It's super different.
It's different.
I think I had French toast there.
I had a smoothie and I was like, I don't need to be drinking no smoothie when I'm this drunk.
It was
like,
kind of weird. It was like a breakfast.
I felt bad for the birds because it was
right.
I'm like, y'all need to move these. These are tropical birds. They are not meant to be out here. It's too cold. I'm calling the people.
Why they got the birds outside?
I have Octopus Bar. Have you been to Octopus in East Atlanta?
What time do they close?
That's a good question. I know that they don't open till 10 though.
Oh, so it's got to be late.
It is late night.
Oh, but you know what is Korean barbecue?
Where?
There's a bunch of Korean barbecue places that are open late now too. I think they close at like midnight. Some places close at like 2. I know there's one in like, what's it called? Zen or Zem or something like that. It's 24 hours Korean barbecue.
Oh, the 24-hour Chick-fil-A in Hateville.
Girl, who is driving out there?
I made them rise before.
You are not driving out there.
Chick-fil-A is not that good.
I don't believe it.
I have Doc's on here. Have you guys ever been to Doc's?
What is that?
I usually hate Doc's, but recently I just went and the wings were really good. The only reason I hate it is because a bunch of drunk people are always there. It's on Cop Parkway, across the street from.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But it actually does. They do have great wings there.
Taco Mac. 2 o'clock. They close.
I don't like Taco Mac.
You don't get a Taco Mac?
I ain't sending nobody over there.
Why?
Huh?
I used to. It changed. Something happened.
Stop playing. I don't like Taco Mac. I used to work at Taco Mac.
I mean, Bianca used to work at Taco Mac.
I know. I used to work with Bianca. At
Really?
Taco Mac,
You
yeah.
worked at Taco Mac with Bianca?
That's how I know Bianca.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yes. Way back in the day.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then I think the leather place is 11th Street Pub. They stay open late and have food late too. So
11th Street Pub.
on 11th Street, and I don't know if that's Peachtree.
What time? Oh, what's the place stays open late and serve food? Crew.
I've never been there.
You never been to Crew?
Uh-uh,
Yeah, we
never
went to
been,
Crew. That's what Portia's child's father's. That
Oh.
Dennis owns those.
Okay.
The same man that owns like the hot dog factories.
Hmm.
Crew. Yeah, they stay
Oh,
open
that
late.
he owns the hot dog factories.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Hudson Grill too. They're open till like 2.
I'm not at 2 in the morning.
You know, you're like scarred by Hudson Grill.
I used to work at Hudson Grill.
I know.
And I used to love, Hudson Grill got me through a lot of my life. I'll just say that. Hudson
Yeah.
Grill has held me down. Like, I owe a lot to that place. I mean, not really. I put in my work. But, yeah, when it gets late night, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean they close at 2. So
They do.
Yeah, I don't think I know any place that's really open past like 2 nowadays, except for
Doc's.
the pho place.
Doc's, Mama's.
Where's
Waffle
Doc's
House.
at?
Doc's is on Cobb Parkway,
Yeah,
across the
that's
street
far.
from the
Cobb
stadium.
Parkway.
Mm-hmm. It's a few. I'm sure there's more. We probably just need to. I ain't out that late. Like, I'm not
No,
out that
I
late
know. Not
looking
anymore.
around for food.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
exactly.
not anymore.
Right.
Um,
We know Waffle House is open.
yeah, and Waffle House at the end
Cookout,
of the
those
day.
places.
I don't eat cookout.
Cookout don't ever close, but the line, I'm like,
I
what
don't
are they
eat cookout.
serving?
I don't understand how people eat cookout. I don't eat cookout.
I've never even tried it. It's below me. It's beneath me.
Look,
As soon as I drive, I'm like, cookout.
I had
I
a
don't know.
friend-
I went to cookout one time and that was it.
I didn't know what the hype was. I had a friend in law school. She used to get like the DoorDash orders. Her cookout, like
First of
cookout,
all, who's ordering cookout at
Right,
DoorDash?
so
The fries are soggy and cold. Who
but
wants
just saying,
that?
cookout is cheap, right?
Yeah,
She
it
was
is.
paying
And
like
it come with a chicken
$20
nugget.
for a cookout. So when I went the first time, it was like $4. I'm like, this girl made $20.
That's my
That's because it's like the Uber Eats
all the
$12
fees,
surcharge.
But I would never do that with cookout. Like, and then the
Not
food,
cookout.
I was like, oh, this is ballpark food.
Yeah, basically.
No, the backyard food.
Literally, yeah, like Little League
It's
baseball.
cookout. You
No, I
want
was
Literally, that's
like,
exactly what it
I
is.
was like, this don't taste right.
Skipping varsity. Excuse me.
I don't even like the varsity.
Yeah, no, either.
I can't even say I ate the varsity before.
No, I have, and I was just
Have
like,
I?
wow, what's the hype?
I don't remember.
It's not great.
I think as a kid, like a kid.
Yeah, a kid to Atlanta when I was in my 20s. I was a kid, and Atlanta was still my playground, and I was like, oh, the things. Yeah, I tried it then, and I was like, never again.
Yeah.
It's just greasy, right?
It's just
like you said,
tastes
ballpark
like
food.
TV
and
dinner fast food.
Oh.
That's what it tastes
I
like.
feel like I had wings as a kid there.
I don't
Wings
even
at
think they
varsity?
serve
Uh-huh.
wings.
They have hot dogs, burgers, and fries.
Yeah.
They used to have wings. I think they used to have wings.
Girl, you thinking
Hot
that?
dogs, They had
No, but
wings
the
back in
wings
the
were
day?
horrible because they were like boiled or
I
something.
mean,
Oh, those are the worst wings.
Yeah, they were like, I'm like remembering it.
Who's
yes.
boiling wings?
I can't stand boiled baked wings.
I
They
mean,
were
I didn't know
something.
people did that.
No, they do that.
Boiled wings?
And baked. Boiled and baked.
That sounds disgusting. The word boil and wings all sound like they should go in hand. Anywho, as we summarize today's episode, I just want to say that I'm an advocate for going out, having experiences at new restaurants, indulging in the cocktails, getting your full experiences. And I think we all are. We're all for that. But let's cancel some of that reckless behavior, guys. It don't take all that to have a good time. Let's choose to be responsible. So I've given myself, my guidelines, my boundaries. And, every day I'm like, okay, remember what those boundaries are, girl. Don't you cross them.
Yeah.
So, you just do that checklist, guys, and you'll be all right. And your bartenders are looking out for you, too. And just kind of respect that and knowing that moving forward.
Yeah.
But that basically wraps up this episode. Unless you guys have anything else to add, anything else on your hearts that you want to share.
I don't.
No?
No, I mean,
Okay.
this was fun. I liked it.
Yeah,
me
it was
too.
great.
I had a lot of fun today.
Yeah.
So I just want to thank you guys both for making time to be here. Like, I've had so much fun. This has felt like a girl chat and super chill. But I think it's great that, honestly, Karen was like this missing piece. It's so funny.
It worked, yeah.
It worked out perfectly. I told Quita, I was like, yeah, so I'm probably going to have Karen come. And she was like, Karen from Chinese Buddha Karen? And I'm like, yeah. And we didn't know that, we didn't know that each other knew Karen. So that goes to say, You're not really an Atlantan, an ATLian, if you don't know it came from Chinese Buddha.
Right.
Stop, no.
She's legendary.
She's a legendary.
It was a moment in time.
She's
It was a moment
legendary.
in time.
Yeah.
So-
That's not, yeah. Kamor, as we call it. Kamor.
Anywho, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to today's episode. You can find us on Instagram at Spirit and Soul Podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Make sure you subscribe to all those things and just keep a lookout for us because we're expanding and the topics are growing. And it's just so much about this culture that we love to talk about and share with you. So I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.
Bartenderness.